So first, thanks for being on time. Thanks for being early. I'll be recording this session, so you can actually go and rewatch it. I know you bought the basic package, but I tend to give the recording. I find it's
Okay.
more helpful for um helpful for everyone.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the concepts I cover might be a bit different from what people expect. So it's maybe the first time when they hear it, because it's something new.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take some time to digest it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
yeah, I'll send you the video link after maybe some edits are done, and probably take 2 or 3 days.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem.
So just to understand a bit more about the project, is this your business or are you an ad manager?
No. So I'm managing this for a client. However, my area of expertise doesn't revolve necessarily around Google Ads, and so yes, I can do Google Ads. I've set the Google Ads up and they're running, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, there are people out there better than me at what they do with these sorts of things. So I was looking to get the expert opinion of somebody else to
Okay.
see how I can improve what I can do to make these better.
Okay. So before we go dive into the project, what could you tell me more about your business? You say you are doing
Uh,
part of this as part of it, but what's the whole big picture thing?
yeah, so my background is that I've worked in agencies and I've run agencies for almost 10 years. Um, my skill set specifically focuses around social media advertising and SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Google Ads has always been a bit of a mystery to me because I haven't spent as much time on developing that skill set as others. I primarily run campaigns for um, financial advisors. However, I have some legacy clients, and one of them is this company who finds leaks and fixes them for people here in the UAE.
I see. So you are in UAE currently.
That's right, yes.
I see. Okay. So you are having an agency model where companies outsource digital marketing to you, social media, SEO, and sometimes Google Ads.
Yeah.
Okay, got it, got it. So I think I can give you some ideas. I'll assist you to uh I'll assist you in getting your job done. So it's actually helpful. What I'll do, I'll be sharing my screen. Okay. So yep, are you able to see my screen?
I certainly
It's
can, yes.
supposed okay, it's supposed to be a PowerPoint. So yes. On my Fiverr, I have this here. Yes, I know there's going to be a lot of things to be covered, but I'm just going to simplify it. So at the end of our session, I'll even send you this,
Okay,
so you can
wonderful.
straight away implement some of the suggestions here. You don't need to uh take any special notes, or because I like to use graphics to illustrate a point, so you don't need to like be drawing stuff. You can just enjoy yourself in the session. Okay. So
Okay.
frankly, I'd like to know if the website was done by you.
No, it wasn't done by me.
I see. Okay. So if there are changes required to for the website, will it be possible to be implemented?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice to know. That's actually the important thing. Okay, so I'll just give you an overview. Why am I covering the website first? Because I like to explain. I like to show like why are we doing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, people they approached me and asked about, let's say, Facebook ads, let's say Google ads. Yeah, sometimes the ads there are room for improvements, but most of the time they have an audience problem. They have an offer problem. Traffic is usually not the main thing. Okay, but that being said, I'll give you some areas which I spot, because when you share the PDF with me, I saw some areas for improvement. So I'll cover that as well. Now,
Okay.
why do we want to fix number 1, 2, and 3? It's because I believe most businesses, when they engage us to do agency work or digital marketing work, frankly, they don't care much about what we do. They just want the results. More
Mhm.
people come, more conversions, more leads, or let's say same leads, but more higher quality, less tire kickers. Is that correct for your situation?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's one of the things that a lot of people come with. You know, having worked in agencies for a long time, people really don't care what we do. They're not buying the services; they're buying the result, right? So
So I'm glad to hear it's the same thing for your situation. Because if you tell me no, then I'll have a problem. That
no,
will be something.
definitely the same. Definitely
Okay,
the same.
so I'm glad we are on the same page. Okay, so first I'll address the audience problem. Now it's a very fancy word of what is the big serious pain that they have, or what is the benefit they want. Okay, now I'm not in this water leakage industry, so I won't know a lot. That being said, I can ask you some questions, or you can actually bounce these questions with your clients so they can discover. Now, this is the main page. I'm not sure if this is the landing page. Is this like the page once they click on the Google ad, they will come here?
No, this is just the home page. Most of it goes to the contact us page.
Okay. This is what you want to avoid. Okay. Just by fixing this, I think you're going to get better results.
Okay.
Because just imagine if it's a brand new visitor, they have not heard of this company, they have an idea on what water leakage is, but they don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When they come here, it actually requires them to go click on something else and come back here. So it's a lot of resistance. And here it's like they don't. Yes, we can see the contact form, but we are asking them to commit to something without them
Yeah.
knowing the full benefit. So I'll advise against this. So usually we will have a dedicated landing page. Now, some businesses, they will use the home page as a landing page, which I think it will actually be better than the contact page for this situation. That being said, it's not the most optimal. Okay, so just a written summary here. I think the third option, which is what is happening, is landing page. Okay. Just okay. So currently we are using contact us for landing page. So the
Mm-hmm.
problem with here it's they have no contacts. They don't know why. Like, why should I do anything? So this question has not been answered mentally on the contact page. So it's unlikely they'll do anything. Now, if we send them to the home page, at the very least, they will have an idea. Okay, this is Dubai water leakage. They serve industry, they serve residential. That is the idea I got. Yes, I know they are more specific to industry. Okay, but when glancing, at least I know. Okay, this. Okay, I can get a quote here, and there are some testimonies here. Okay, so I was looking at the website just now. I saw a page where they highlight the clients that they have. Yes, this part
Mm-hmm.
is very powerful. I recommend to have this on the homepage.
Okay.
It might be you might want to consider putting it right up here
Okay.
because it instantly established the credibility. Now, frankly, I do not know any of this. Okay, I know Costa Coffee because
Yeah.
I drink coffee. Intercontinental Hotel. Okay, yes. These three I don't know, but I assume people in the area, people in the country, they will have an idea of this. Or let's say people in industries, they will know this. So this, Hard Rock Cafe. So this is very powerful. It helps to establish the credibility. I'll put it right up front.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another area where it's like the golden real estate. The most important thing to determine a Google ad, if it's going to be successful or not. Number one is the ad. Number two is the headline, the first impression of the landing page. So here, all of this, it doesn't sell the the big reason why I want to take action. Like this is okay, but it's not ultra specific. Now I'll give you specific examples on some ideas so you can bounce it with your clients. Okay, so this part is I think the low hanging fruit that which we want to fix. So number one is a landing page. I will recommend to have a dedicated landing page. And if I do not show an example of this, just remind me of this, because I'll show you some of the dedicated landing page I use and why I
Okay.
use them. Okay, now why do I say this homepage is not the ideal? Okay, two reasons. Number one, it's a very objective reason. The page takes some time to load. So I usually use GT metrics to test if a website speed is fast, and it is not optimal. Okay, so usually homepage, they will, especially for more established companies, larger companies, they are not 100% focused on conversion. They would rather look they would rather look nice, they would rather look corporate, they would rather look authority, trustworthy. So conversion isn't the top of their list, which I understand. But if we have a landing page, we can focus 100% on conversion. So when it's focused on conversion instead of looking nice, most of the time, a landing page will look much faster. Because if you check the time spent on the website, if the time spent on the website, there are people who leave within 5 seconds, there's a good chance they leave before seeing anything. And the worst part is we actually paid for that visitor when it's on Google.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the one thing which your landing page in terms of speed. Okay, so ideally you want to get something like A or B, it's okay. So you want it to load fast. I'm not the best person to consult when it comes to loading speed, website loading speed. There are people on Fiverr who can provide that service, but this will help you improve it. Another tool I like to use is Google Page Speed Insights. So this gives me an idea on what are the things that I can improve. Okay, I haven't seen too many websites that score above 60 or 70. So if it's 23, yes, it's on the low side, but don't assume 100% is the score. I rarely see any sites, especially if it's not google.com.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things as well with the whole digital marketing thing is you know, when especially when I'm working on SEO projects, it's like you know, they say you need to have all these, you need to have all these. You know, my pages very rarely are at 100 out of 100. They're often you know 85 to 90 because you have to write for people, so you always take them with a pinch of salt. If you have everything that Google asks for, then you don't really have a website that's human interactive. You know, you've got a really nice Google website, but you've got a terrible human website, you know.
Yep. This is where we want to balance the conversion with the ranking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an art. It's an art. If that's a decision which can satisfy both the algorithm and human, go for it. But sometimes we have to make a decision between both of these. So yeah, I understand the pain and frustration, because when it comes to SEO, not everybody is on the same page with us. Okay, so that is the first change which you can make is for the landing page. Okay, now without diving into the keywords, I saw. Okay. Before, let's backtrack a little. Have you seen this buying pyramid before? I can quickly go through it. Yeah, so most of the business owners, you will see this in your clients, most of them, before they meet you, probably they are just trying to market to people who want to buy now, instead of trying to talk with these two segments.
Yeah.
Okay, so like this alone, usually when I go through with them this, their eyes will open up. And here, I'm not sure if there are too many ways to capture leads. because I see everything it's take action now or we're gonna forget about it.
Yeah.
So usually for anyone who is like very urgent, we want to buy today, now, yeah, it's okay. You can schedule a call, you can ask them to get on a phone call, schedule an appointment. But for those who are less urgent, we want to show them the importance of the work we do. So when they are ready, they will contact you. So for these people, the call to action I recommend is, instead of booking a call because they are not ready, they don't think it's urgent, then they will agree it's important. If the marketing is done well, they'll agree it's important, but they might not see it as, I need to solve this today. So the best way to capture these people, and frankly, most businesses are not thinking about this chunk. Best way to capture this is to ask them to opt in, give them a free gift, give them some information, get their email, get their phone number, a way to contact them. So this can be something that you can upsell your client. Hey, currently, this is what we are doing. It works for this group of people, but I realize this group of people, yes, we are doing something to address this, but we do not have a good way to capture, nurture, and follow up them on this. Okay, so there are many ways to do this. One of it, which I know it works, is using the traditional email, get them to opt in for something, keep them contact, send them an email at least once a month. Okay, so this is something that we can implement. Now, how do I classify people in different stage of the pyramid? Now, this is where I'm adding my own information. Just take this as a reference. It's not an absolute rule. Okay, so if it's anything in the keywords which says water leak now, I'll take that as they want to buy now, or at least open to it. Okay, so here is where I'll actually ask you for some feedback on the keywords. Okay, do you have any keywords which are targeting the business competitors?
No, we don't at this moment in time. But that is something that I should be doing, because I have competitors who are targeting my brand names. And actually, they're very naughty about it, because they're literally using the business name in their advert.
Yes, that's what I do. That's what I do. Okay, since this is a big enough company, they might have a legal team. So if, let's say, they are using leak DTech in their ads, if they have a legal team, if they have the trademark for this, they could actually ask the lawyer to send the competitors a letter. Hey, we own, because I've received these letters before.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we own a trademark, leak DTech. The trademark number is here. I've attached the document. Please stop using our name, or we are forced to take action.
Sure.
Yeah. So I know this is not, I mean, we're not supposed to give legal advice, but you can actually ask them to look into it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Could you give me a few of the competitors' name?
Digital Thermal.
Okay, maybe you can type that in the chat, because
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Let me just open up my thingy.
Okay,
So leak detection device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, digital thermal .com. I've got testo.com.
Okay, let me have a look. Testo.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so testo.com
dnv.com. Yeah.
is one of the competitors' name. Now, what I usually do is I'll take a spreadsheet and I'll record all of the name and the website. So those are things you can use to use a target. Now, what we can't do is, if I type in, let's say I'll do a live example here. Testo. Okay. let's say if I type Testo leak detector, and let's say this ad appears, here is leak detect, but the headline, it is testo.com, or then we have a big problem.
Yeah.
But if you do it when I type Testo leak detect, but leak detect, the website appear, that is 100% fine. They can't do anything about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that is one trick we can use. So I'll recommend to have, number one, all the leak detection companies, the websites and the name. We have an Excel spreadsheet, and you can use those as keywords. File it under a separate campaign. Don't use it under the same campaign, because it will require different strategy. It requires different bidding. The cost per conversion is going to be different. You want to test how cost effective is that.
Yeah.
I've got some very big deals for my clients using this method. But the cost per lead is way higher.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so there are some ways to mitigate that. Since you're in SEO, I'll just mention, if you can, this is scaling the system. I'm not sure how long this will work. So you might want to use it while it still applies.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're going to game testo.com, you can have a landing page with testo.com as some of the H2 tags, H3 tags. It will help to lower your ad costs, because the more relevant an ad is, the cheaper it is for you to advertise on Google. So if the whole page, the landing page, we don't have a lot of keywords related to Testo, Google will deem it's not relevant, low relevancy, the ad cost will be higher. So yeah, this is a trick you can use. If let's say Testo is the number one competitor, or then by all means have a special landing page for these guys. Keyword Testo, landing page Testo. So you want to match the landing page ad itself. Now unfortunately, we can't write Testo on the ad itself, so we can't do this. But these are the three things that influence the ad cost.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just write ad cost so it's easier for you to recall. Ad cost, landing page, ad itself, and this is also known as quality score in Google. Okay, so these three things. Actually, like most of the time, you just take care of both of this. Okay, so there's one thing you can use is just to have the keyword itself appear on the landing page. Now you can do it very, very fairly. What is the difference between Testo and lead detect? Maybe do a comparison table. Okay, it's a good way to be very neutral, and it actually helps in convincing the people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is another thing which you can do. All right, so next is we talk about the pain and the benefit. Now, yes, I'm not in this industry, so could you help me understand what is the cost of not solving the leak problem, the water leak problem?
Immediately, there is a financial cost. If you have a leak in your home, for example, your water bill will shoot up. You may end up with other issues such as damp or mold, which could then lead to health issues.
Oh, this is nice. Okay, mold will actually lead to health issues. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Then there's property damage as well. For example, if you leave a pipe leaking in the wall, it could mean the property becomes damaged, and you've got to spend money to get that fixed as well. there was a case recently where somebody had had a 60,000 dirham water bill because of a leaking pipe in their flat.
Oh, if you're talking about residential, not commercial.
Residential.
Ooh.
So, you know, that's a big, you know, cost. So those are the three main ones, right? Is the financial aspect. Your water bill shoots up. Then you've got the potential for health issues if left unchecked. And then obviously you've got potential property damage as well, if the leaks aren't fixed and found.
That those three are very, very good reasons. And frankly, actually, whatever you just mentioned to me, if you put it on this page, the top section,
Yeah,
it will convert much better. Whatever you just mentioned to me, put it here.
Okay. So dedicated landing page, slider with those three key points.
Yes, and you can actually tweak it a little. Let's say if the keyword is leaning towards water bill, like I saw one of the keywords is save water bill,
Yeah.
then guess what? We're going to use this as the headline.
Okay.
If let's say it is water damage, water property damage, okay, we're going to use this as a headline. Now, when you mention health issues, I straight away become more excited.
Yeah.
Why? Because usually residential, they know it's important, but we need something to tell them you need to fix this now. So property damage is a good motivator, but to make it even more like you need to fix it now, we talk about the health issues. Why health issues? Because it creates mold. Now, what does mold do to the body? This is where we just link, do a very like summarized research according to XYZ Health Institute. Mold is the number one cause of health issue A.
Yeah.
Just what like, and what does this health issue going to cause? A single treatment of this health issue will cost, let's say $60,000, $50,000. Put the amount. Now, what are they comparing to? They're comparing if they fix the water leakage, it's going to cost them X amount of dollars. They don't take any action. They're going to, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen. So it's like, I don't want to take action, but I have to take action.
Yeah.
When they come to that conclusion, you are doing a fantastic job with the Google ads, you're doing a fantastic job with the website. And this is how we increase the conversion. So it's not so much on the Google ads, but it's like, how can we highlight the importance of the service? So this is very good. Now, my country, Malaysia, water is too cheap. So when there's water leakage here, most people don't take any action.
Yeah.
Okay, including myself. We have water leakage problem. But property damage, when we last time we repaired the house because of the water damage, oh, we are talking about 1,000 times, 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Water might as well be free in my country, but the property damage it costs a lot.
Yeah.
So this is a good motivator. So how can we show them the property damage? Case studies. This house, okay, this is where in my country, if I show pictures of other homes, I might not get into trouble. But let's say if this is done in United States, I'm pretty sure a lawsuit will be coming very soon. So get images with approval.
Yeah.
What I would actually like to do, because I didn't know residential we could sell so much. When I was looking at this, I was thinking more on the industry side. So industry, it helps to get some case studies.
Yeah, we've got loads of case studies that we can use.
Yes, case studies will be nice to put in the landing page itself, but a very summarized.
Yeah,
this industry, what happened, how much money it cost them to fix it. Okay, let me just write it down so it will be easy for you. Okay, so for industry, okay, what industry, what was the damage financially, okay, how much it costs to fix. This is where I use a slightly different angle. Now, water damage, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know much about this industry. When it's not a serious situation, if it's like a drop every 5 minutes, a drop every half an hour, I'm exaggerating, okay? If it's a drop every half an hour, or 1 hour, if it's not serious, people are I know I need to do it, but it's the motivation is not there. But we have to show them, hey, when there is small droplets, that is where it is the cheapest for you to fix it.
Yeah.
Because currently when I walk through the page, the website, I don't get this idea. But we want to inform them that is the best thing you can do. And we can actually go one step further. Before the first drop leaked, we want to find ways to prevent that. And I think I saw something there, how they can help to prevent the water leakage. So before we reach a certain stage, we can already prevent, and that is way cheaper. So here it's cost of action. I came up with this. It's not a prevention, small leaks. Okay, leaks. This is one idea which we can talk about, and I'm pretty sure most of the times people don't talk about this because it's harder to sell. But here I'm going to share with you a way to sell. Now, let's say big leaks, it costs them the damage. The damage is, let's say for industry, 100,000. 100,000 to repair the damage, 100,000 in machine or inventory that is affected. Because of the damage, they have to go do all of this. And because of the maintenance, they could not operate for 3 days, 2 weeks, whatever the duration. So the 3 days that they can't operate actually cost them, I don't know, 500,000, 1 million. So these numbers, we have to show them, hey, we're not here to sell you the water leak. We are here to sell you, you can run your business without any problems. That is actually much more motivating. So most of the time when they think about water leakage, they're not thinking about those stuff, but we want to, for you to make them take action, it's our job to highlight this stuff to them. So you can tell them, if it's prevention, it's actually very cheap. If it's a small leak, if it's a big leak, it's going to be a major project, which is why we advise them to do preventive.
Yeah.
Now, this is where a little, which it's not about Google Ads, it's not about a landing page anymore. This is where it comes to business. If you can help your client sell to people who currently they don't have a water leak, it's going to be a breakthrough for you and for them. So how can we sell people who don't even have any leaks? Okay. How can we sell a prevention plan? Let's say if it's an inspection, the detection once every 3 months, once every 6 months. The cost of the detection of the prevention is so low. It actually saves the money. So let's say an average industry, they have a water leak once every 3 years or once every 5 years. But each time it takes them, let's say 100,000 to repair. But by doing the leaks, they can avoid paying the 100,000. So let's say if the leak is 1,000 or 10,000, we're talking about spending 10,000 to save 100,000. You show them that it will be a new service that they couldn't have sold before this. Okay, so I'll follow that under prevention. And this can actually be an annual package where they get business previously. They never thought of it, or they never could have sold people who don't have a leak problem. Actually, this is one of the hardest things to sell, but once they can sell this, they will be able to tap into markets that they previously have not thought about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's a bit off topic, but I thought about it just now, so I thought
It's a great idea. And is a nice way to get big companies on retainers, right? I mean,
Yes.
water is an incredibly scarce commodity here,
Yes.
and you can't really afford to, especially if you're a big industrial company or you're a big petrochemical service or something like that. Like, you don't really want to be wasting money on downtime of your facility. You don't want to spend 100,000 dirhams on fixing something that really, if you'd have had an inspection for 10,000, could have been
Yes.
prevented. So I think that's a really great idea.
So would you like to see how I structure a prevention campaign?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, I'll just give you a case study. Now this is my client currently. So I'll just give you a very quick summary. What were they doing before this? The website better not be down now. I'll actually be furious. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so they have been doing computer parts. They're selling computer parts for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so always what happens is when there's a problem, companies will call them to fix it. It's very stressful. It's like the water leakage. They have a
Yeah.
problem, they want you to arrive now.
Yeah.
We don't care if it takes you 5 hours to travel. We want you here now. So it's a
Yeah.
very stressful business. So I asked him, why can't we fix the business model instead of when there's a problem, they have to find out what's the problem. They have to go and find the specific part to go and replace. It's a mess, and they have to negotiate about price, and it's just a very unpleasant situation. And usually, when there's a problem, when there's a leakage in the company, people are not in a very good mood to talk with you. So what do? It's we show them. Now, instead of you fix the computer when there is a problem, we sell you a retainer. So for $1 or $5 every month, you pay us. What we'll do is we will prepare all of the components which you require on standby. So when there is a problem, we can send you a replacement computer. Your downtime will be very, very minimal, because I understand it's who cares about a computer? It's $300, it's $500.
Yeah.
The real thing is the 1 to 3 days or sometimes a week of lost productivity. That's the real cost. So the traditional way is there's so many problems, there's so many steps involved. We cut short the process. We make it a very routine thing, and instead of 3 days, 5 days downtime, we guarantee we solve the problem in 48 hours. Actually, they solve it within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the main bag. It's cheaper for both parties. And the benefit for my client is he get predictable income. So it's there are some similarities between leak detection. So ideally we don't want to solve those who have a big leak. We want to solve those with a smaller, small and prevention. I know the numbers are going to be different. You say, hey, we solve a big leak. It's 100,000, it's a 500,000 problem. We can charge big bucks for it. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen so often.
Yeah, exactly.
The prevention, you get predictable. You know exactly how much revenue you're going to get next month. Yeah. So those are my suggestions how we can make. You'll see there are some Google ad related stuff, but most of it it's business. Some of it is on the marketing. Okay. So just now I promised to reword this, okay, to change the headline. But I figure it's actually better if we do it together because you have knowledge about this, which I don't.
Sure.
So let's talk about water bill. I'll use the easy one, water bill. Okay. So how much does a water leakage? How much is they are looking to save? What is the average?
Think about like DWA. Okay, so I mean, it depends, right? Because if you've got a small apartment, your DWA bill. So for example, my apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, is about 600 dirhams per month for my water and electricity. So about, yeah.
Okay, so
A large villa, like a 3-4 bed villa, you can expect maybe 1,200 per month.
okay, let's say if there is a water leakage problem, usually how long does it take for people to realize?
It will be when the next bill comes through.
Oh, okay.
So they might get a text message from DWA saying you've used 80% more than what you normally use. But again, there's going to be a delay, right? So if you've got a leak, you're not going to notice until that text message comes through, or that bill comes through telling you that you now got to pay them 4 times as much because there was a leak that you didn't know about.
Okay, so one angle, avoid getting surprised during your next water bill. This is one way. Now, what are we selling? We are not selling, actually, if the leakage, now here it's up to, just now I remember you said something like 6,000.
60,000.
Wow. And were they able to do anything about this?
No,
they have to pay.
They had to pay.
Okay. So if we are strictly using this angle, I'll even say the background image here. I'm not sure if we are able to use it. Is this incident covered in the news or something?
Yeah, it was covered in the news. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is going to be, you have to check if you have if it's allowed to do this, because I mean it's a bit of a legal stuff. I'm not sure if we can show the newspaper cutting or the news, the headline.
Yeah.
Somebody got a 60,000 water bill without knowing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one way to do. And the call to action for that, it's not to, hey, come and do a check now. It will be, we sell a water checking service once a year,
Yeah.
or let's say whatever it is, or we implement something for them to check themselves.
Yeah.
The call to action, it requires some industry knowledge, so I'm not sure what to recommend, but it shouldn't be immediately come and sometimes the answer is buy this thing or buy this service. Okay, but that actually requires some discussion with the client. Okay, so
Yeah.
what the situation is this, what should the call to action be?
So the way that you can immediately find out is to find your water gauge, and see what the numbers are on it. This is the thing, like most people will look at it and they go, well, there's numbers on there, I've got no idea what they should be.
Okay.
So they then will have to then go and check. They have to leave a space of time to see what the numbers are as they pass through. Right. So that is a bit of a concern for them. So they might go, oh, I don't know if I have a leak. I might have a leak, but I don't know because I have never checked this sort of thing before. So there's going to be that worry that when they go back and check that the numbers are going to be too high. So that's the sort of industry way of doing it. We have got an article about how to do that on the website. But the premise is look at the numbers on the gauge. If they're too high, then you've got a problem.
Okay. I thought of a way to solve this. I'm not sure if it's the main business of the company, because if your client is mainly focused on industry, this might not make a lot of sense to implement. But let's pretend that your client is very focused on residential.
Mm-hmm.
You could use PowerPoint and you could create an app which shows them. I mean, I say app because everybody has a phone, but you can use whatever method it is.
Yeah.
So reading this week, they'll have the numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so week 1, week 2, week 3. So the numbers here will be something like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there is a way to do this automatically and inform them when the numbers are irregular, this will be a service which we can probably sell. I know it's
Mm-hmm.
not related to the company, but I mean, if you ask me to think of something which can be done, this is something. I'm not sure if there were meters, the reading thing, is it analog or is it digital? Because in my country, our electricity, this thing, it's actually all digital. So
Yeah.
it actually sends the reading, and we can actually track this. So if
Yeah,
there is an
the client does have something like this. I don't think it's fully implemented yet, but that could be something that will work. I'll have to speak with the client about it.
yeah. So this for residential, it can be, I don't know, $5 a month or whatever it is. Or for residential, it's free, but for industry, oh, we charge $3.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or let's say the residential, there are two versions. The basic version, you get the readings. The paid version, if the reading is something funny with the numbers, we will
Yeah.
send you a text notification, or we'll send you we will be notified on your mobile, so you don't always need to check the app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is one way to do it. I'm not sure how easy it is to implement because I'm not a programmer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just thinking off my head. But for your client, which is a more lucrative part of their business industry?
Well, the majority of work comes through the residential stuff. But obviously the big money is in the industrial, commercial, and petrochem, right?
So most of the work comes from here, but most of the money comes from here.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the big money can come from. Most of the work comes from residential stuff. But yeah, obviously the big money comes from industrial stuff.
Okay, so here is where a little like, if I'm not sure if they're comfortable sharing the financial information, but you can just ask them to get this information for you. If we
Mm-hmm.
check the income of the company for the past 3 years, what percentage of the income comes from residential? What percentage come from the industry?
I mean, I don't know that, and it
Yeah,
fluctuates quite a
yes,
bit, but
most of the time we won't know, frankly.
yeah.
But if they are comfortable to reveal this information, there can be some marketing ideas, there can be some brainstorming. Now, so this is way beyond the normal digital marketing thing. It's
Yeah.
more on like, on-board consultation, which is what the role I have for my clients.
Okay.
Initially, they hire me for Google Ads, Facebook ads, or they hire me for some emails. But when I speak with them, I ask them some questions. They give some problems. I end up solving one or two like big problems, and they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
how about we meet once a month or something? I have questions to ask you, and you seem to be able to pull this type of questions that we never thought of, and it helps a lot." Yeah, so not sure if it's something that you can implement, but if you can, you're going to get way bigger clients.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. So we are near the end of a session. This is where I open the session. Like if there's anything you want more clarification, or if there's additional information, you feel free to ask me.
I mean, I don't really have any questions. I mean, this is a super duper helpful thing because it has opened up. Whilst I'm as I'm sure you're aware, sometimes you can sort of get stuck in what the client is after, and so it's always good to get some different viewpoints and different opinions on things. I always like to speak to people that are better than me at certain things because I'm never going to learn otherwise. So the stuff that you've worked with me here allows me to open up my mind in terms of learning, or not learning, but you know, what new keywords I can target. How can I target people who have got different challenges? How can I reword what we're doing? Because like I say, you know, the adverts are running and they're generating conversions. Great. But how can I reduce the cost of that? How can I increase the volume of conversions that I'm getting? How can I, you know, improve the quality of the conversions that are coming through? You know, can I spend $1,000 to generate one client that makes the company $500,000? Fine.
Yes.
You know, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. And usually, I'll just give you I'm not even sure if I can call this a tip. It's just what I've been through. I just share with you. Between reducing the ad cost and spend the same amount or spend more amount to generate way more profits, it's much easier to sell this.
Yeah.
And I'll even say you want to sell this because when they are when you're conditioning your client, when you are getting your clients comfortable to spend increasing amounts, you get to raise your fees.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Last time, when I started, I always talk about my selling point is the same amount you spend on Facebook, you get X, let's say you get 10 sales. But if you hire my service, you can spend half, but you can get the same amount of sales.
Yeah.
So that is my initial angle. And I really had a very tough time because my challenge is the money they save on ads. They have to pay me for that.
Yeah.
So I changed the way I frame things. I'm like, hey, we are not here to talk about how to save costs on ads, which after I found out all about the marketing, the strategies, and what we covered, I find it's way easier to increase the revenue than to reduce the cost. And when I increase revenue, the cost-cutting conversation doesn't, during the meetings, there's no cost-cutting. It's like, how much can we spend to get more? That it opens out a lot of possibilities. Now, will every project work? No. But let's say half of them work, we already make a lot of money. Like I have clients who went from 500,000 revenue a year to 2 million in the span of 1-2 years.
Yeah.
So this is where I think, let's say if you're picking a outsourcing the marketing service, this is a very good growth for you. So I mean, you're in the right place.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, wonderful. Well, I really appreciate your time. Really worth it. It's incredibly valuable for me. And I'll be using these. What I'll do is once I've put these bits and pieces together, I'll just send you some sort of feedback in terms of campaign reports and things like that, just so that you can sort of validate the stuff that's happened. Feel free to use, you know, once I've implemented these things and once we've got campaign results coming back and they've shown to be successful, please feel free to use them as examples for your own marketing bits and pieces, because it's super duper valuable for me, really helpful. Like I say, even though I've been doing this a long time, there's always something new that you can learn. There's always something that allows you to look at things from a new angle. So I really appreciate your time.
Oh, I really appreciate the permission to use this. I'll do some edit with the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Then like the confidential stuff, I'll probably like blur them out and I'll upload it to my YouTube channel. You mind if I put this public? I mean, you can say no.
Yeah, sure, of course. You feel free to use it. Feel free to use it.
All right. So Aaron, I appreciate the time we spent here. I'll send you the recording. I'll send you the PowerPoint slides. I'll send you the notes we have. Okay, I'll send you the recording within 48 hours.
Perfect.
Then I'm hoping to hear from you.
Perfect. No problem at all.
All right, man. Thanks again, Aaron.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. And
Same to you.
I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.